Hello, today's book review is going to be on the book Marginal by Tom, that's his last name. I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I know I will 100% pronounce it wrong. But yeah, the book is Marginal and I finished this fairly recently. It was in my TBR for January and it's been on bookshelves for quite a while. I got it in a book box, one of the Abominable Book Club boxes. And when I picked it out of the box, I remember thinking the cover looked a bit weird, but when I read the back, I was like, oh, the back sounds really interesting. This story is about a cult. So we follow this guy, the main guy, Rob, and he was in a cult. Well, he grew up in a cult as a child. His mother was in the cult. And he grew up in this cult, but he managed to escape. And we visit him as an adult, and he's just got a phone call saying that his brother has died. Now, his brother remained in the cult, so he hasn't heard or seen from his brother in a super long time. But yeah, they phoned him and was like, your brother's passed away, and he basically insists on going to see his brother's body. He wants to retrieve his brother's body, kind of like say his piece, and then move on with his life. But obviously, having escaped a cult, he's having a pretty difficult time. You know, he's gone through therapy and all this kind of stuff, but he's still really, really struggling with his mental health. But he is determined to go and retrieve his brother's body. He wants to know what's happening. And in the midst of this, he ends up teaming up with a journalist, a woman called Lucy. And Lucy is, to be honest, kind of using Rob. She kind of goes along with him under the premise that she's going to help him bring this cult down because he tried when he was younger and nobody really believed him. You know, nothing really came of it. So he kind of gave up. He's feeling a bit defeated, but she's like, no, I'm going to go with you. We're going to expose this cult. So that everybody's going to know how horrible they are. You're kind of like, almost like kind of get your revenge kind of thing. And for what happened to you as a kid. So yeah, both of them enter back into the cult. It's set up in Scotland, and yeah, obviously things don't go to plan. Don't want to give too much away, but yeah, from the very beginning of the book, when he's describing stuff that's happening, you're like, oh, okay, this is definitely going to be like a creepy cult book. And then as it goes more and more into the book, you're like, okay, there's definitely more to this story here. It kind of morphs less into being about the cult and more being an almost body horror survival story. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to give too much away because I think it's actually quite good going into this not knowing too much. But it has a lot of interesting elements in it. I did read on some of the Goodreads reviews, people either seem to really like it or feel a bit meh about it, because they felt like the writing kind of didn't go where they wanted it to go. And I will say it does, like I said, if you're purely going into it for the cult factor, thinking it's going to be like some kind of like serial killery thing, it's not. It goes off in a completely other direction. But to me, I really enjoyed it. It is quite graphic. Like I said, there is body horror in this, and it's very graphic in its descriptions, but I thought it was done, you know, if you're into that thing, it was done in actually quite a good way. And a lot of people said that the pacing wasn't so great, but I actually disagree. I'm not somebody who likes meandering books. In order for a book to keep my attention, I like it to be quite fast paced. And if it's not fast paced, it has to have like real interesting characters. I would say the plot of this book is very much plot driven, this story. The characters are okay. I liked them at the beginning. And then I would probably say by the end of the book, or middle to end of the book, I didn't really care all that much about the characters. So if you're somebody who really has to be invested in the characters and you want lots of character development and you want to really feel for the characters to be able to get absorbed into a story, this might not be the book for you, because I feel like it's very much plot driven. And the characters are okay. I didn't really care for any of them. Even Rob, the main character, I found him to be a little bit whiny towards the end and a little bit useless. Like, there are so many points in this book where I was like, if they had just done this, it would have been so much easier. If they'd just done that, you know, the outcome would have been so different. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of the characters in this are a bit naive and a bit silly, and it's like you're kind of like listening to them and you're like, come on, like get a grip kind of a thing. So yeah, it's not very character driven, but the plot was really interesting. It was almost a 5-star for me. I feel like the ending was just a little bit brief. Like, I liked the ending, but it was just, I wanted a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more, not so much explanation, but yeah, I just wanted it to, like, it could have been one chapter more, with just a little bit, you know, of more of a wrap up to the ending than there was. I felt like it just kind of, there was loads of build up, like what's happening, what's going on. You find out what's going on and you're like, okay, this is crazy. Things escalate and escalate and escalate, and then it just kind of wraps up very quickly and then stops. And you're like, oh, okay, like I could have just done with like a couple more chapters. So yeah, it was almost a 5-star, but it ended up being a 4-star for me. But overall, really good review. If you like cult stories, body horror stories, like I said, it's quite graphic in its descriptions, it's a little bit gory, then I would say maybe give this one a go and check it out. So yeah, that's the end of my quick little review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave any questions in the comments down below, and until next time, thank you for watching. Bye guys.